Hey, I'm John Greaves III, I'm a founder of Garage Gym Life Media, and in my quest to find cool home gyms to show you, I am following my GPS to the home of the Great Hambino. He's an elusive character, only seen on Instagram, but today you're gonna get to see the inside of his home gym. Hey, I don't want you to just watch this video. I need you to like, subscribe, and if you're already a subscriber, I want you to join our channel for 99 cents a month so you can help us improve YouTube for the home gym community. Okay, back to the video. Hi, we're here to see the Great Hambino.
You found the right place.
All right, so we are here in the home of the Great Hambino, aka Markham Tuck. Markham, thank you for inviting us into your home. I cannot wait to see and hear about this awesome home gym that you have built, complete with climbing accessories. So tell me about how this place got its name.
Butcher Shop came from my name being spelled Mark Ham. A lot of people call me Mark Ham or some variation of that.
Ham.
Yeah, of ham, exactly. So
this is where the meat is prepared.
Exactly.
Okay,
yeah,
that's where you get the ham ready. I got you. Okay. Walk me through what you have over there as far as your belt selection.
I have kind of your standard leather weightlifting belt here.
Okay. Pioneer is legit
yeah.
brand. Did you get? Oh, it looks like. Did you get it?
I got
customized?
it. Of course, got it customized
right,
to go.
Ham bone. Get another one. Okay. All right. Very well. All right.
Yeah. And I have another Pioneer belt that's more the nylon. I think it's nylon. It's like thinner. I use this for stone lifting actually.
Okay. Okay. You got your dip belt here.
Yep.
Look at that, spud ink.
Got some spud, yeah.
Okay, I recognize the Indian club. Okay.
Yes.
What is this?
So they call this a climber curl.
Okay.
Some guy, older guy on grip board came up with the design. Wrist curls.
That makes sense. Okay.
Gil made this for me.
Of course.
Yeah.
The legendary and notorious Gil Goodman.
Yeah, yeah. And then of
so
course.
that's a barrel strength systems because Gil owns a barrel strength system. Okay.
The wrist mace.
Yes, I have one of those as well.
Barrel strength systems.
I love this thing, man. What's your favorite movement with the wrist mace? Because a lot of people haven't seen this thing. It is deceptive. You grab the end of it, and the hardest thing for me is like when I'm rotating up, making sure that it doesn't rotate in your hand.
Yeah.
That really makes my pinky work hard.
Yeah. My favorite is probably this. I mean, I'm climbing so much, so I'm constantly gripped like this
like
and working on
stuff. Okay.
extensors. Sometimes kind of loosens up.
I even like doing this rotating stuff with it, man. But it's so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so versatile. Again, that's a barrel strength. I'm not getting paid anything for telling you this, but this is a barrel strength systems product as well. And I know you've got some other stuff from Gil in here.
Yeah.
But I love that thing, especially. It's helped me a lot with my elbow pain.
Yep.
So
same.
Yeah, I love that thing.
I've definitely suffered from inside, outside elbow pain for on and off for years. Yeah. So I used this for that, and I had some wrist stuff going on, and it helped with that as well. Let's see, we've got loading pins for arm lifting. Of course, I feel like we're gonna overkill it, but barrel strength systems definitely makes my favorite ones.
Okay. Okay.
They're light aluminum.
I'm about to say, what do you like most about them? Because a lot of people are familiar with like the Rogue loading pins and whatnot.
And I have the Rogue one for comparison.
The flange is a lot bigger on the Rogue one.
Yep.
Compared to the arm, the barrel strength.
I think the main thing is some devices I can't attach to this this loading pin.
Because the eye bolt.
Yeah, because of the way the top is designed.
Okay.
And it's heavier, so if sometimes I will travel to gyms and I'll or
you take that along.
Yeah,
with you.
I'll take a loading pin with me.
Gotcha.
I want to work on something like that, and they have the holes built in, so you can just slide a little pin in and connect directly to it instead of having a carabiner attached to the hole and then the device. So I like design that's like aesthetic, and I think Gil does a great job at that. I think this is a pretty unique tool.
It's a hangboard, right?
It is a hangboard.
Okay.
But it has attachment points for a pulley, so once you get strong enough, you start to do more one-arm hangs.
Okay.
And if you're not quite there, you can take off some of the weight with the built-in pulley system. So say I'll hang on this edge. I'm really close to one arm hanging it. It's probably...
Now where would you attach that? Because I know it's supposed to hang up on the wall, but where would you attach it?
I have a setup right here. And I just put a carabiner in each send, hang it here, and then I'll do my hangs on that.
Oh.
This is a company called Grip Pull that makes this.
Okay.
And this is pretty unique. I mean, nobody else made anything similar to this, so I like kind of like unique products that serve a purpose that other people don't address.
All right, so Markham, you just showed us all the stuff that's over there, a lot of your cool grip tools, but I know what everybody wants to see, and they want to find out about this Rogue rack. So this is a Rogue squat stand, and then
Squat stand, I modified it. They say you can't do this. You can.
Okay. So none of this is endorsed by Rogue, is what you're telling me.
This is not endorsed by Rogue.
Okay.
I maybe because of the size, the height, there's risk. I don't know. And I originally had this squat stand actually in our house, in our 3rd bedroom.
Okay.
So I knew eventually maybe I would put it down here. Okay. So I believe this is a 72-inch height.
So for reference, I'm 5'9". There's some ugly rumors that I'm 5'8". I'm 5'9" and some change. Okay. Let's just say that right now. But anyway, so you can see the height of the rack compared to me. Okay.
I made it into basically a miniature half rack, I guess is what you could call it.
Okay.
Definitely Frankensteined. I put a pull-up bar here because I do a lot of hanging and weighted pull-ups for climbing and for just elbow kind of health. They don't recommend this. It is low, but hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Do you do like L-sits and whatnot when you sit? Because I mean, this is very low.
Yeah, and I'll just pull my feet like.
Okay. So, and do you like to go to full extension, or do you just do like what you just did?
I'll do pull-ups to full, but I do a lot of hanging, honestly, because my elbows have a lot of mileage on them, and they
just get you some traction.
Yeah, and basically isometric loading, so I'm still loading the tissue, but I'm not compressing the tissue.
Gotcha.
I do a ton of, obviously, like full range moves when I'm climbing, so I don't necessarily always need to be doing full range pull moves in my training. These lever arms, or I think they call them trolley arms.
Look at you all fancy. Lever arm. It's not a lever arm. It's a lever arm, okay? Oh my goodness. You can tell somebody's educated. I'm just kidding.
Basically, I wanted to be able to do everything in here, and I didn't have room for a cable stack. I really miss cable stack work. That's one thing I will say I miss from a commercial gym. You can get really creative and do a ton of different stuff with that, move it up and down. So the main thing I added was obviously 2 more posts, because this originally just had 2 posts. Now
so
you
just called Rogue and said, hey, don't ask me a lot of questions, but send me 2 more posts?
Basically.
Okay.
And they had these because they do have an attachment you can make for the taller squat stand they make, where it is set up like a half rack.
Okay, so just be clear, just so everybody can visualize. Originally, this was just this part.
Yes.
Okay, and then you added this as a brace, and obviously the other side.
Right.
And then you added this extra post and the trolley.
Yep.
And okay, so that you got, and then when you did that,
then I freed up. Obviously, I had now I had a spot where I could do pins or straps.
Okay.
For like basically rack pulls.
It originally had spotter arms though, right?
It originally came with spotter. Yep. I still have the spotter arms. I do use them occasionally, but on the outside.
Got you. Okay.
Obviously, I added some plate storage, and because I have thin plates, it worked out pretty fine. Okay. I mean, I do a lot of work with this small little setup.
Oh yeah.
So I think it is pretty useful if you can get creative, which to me is one of the most exciting things about a home gym. You get
customize it to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other gym in the world I could go to where I could do hard climbing, lifting, grip, Muay Thai, and strongman stuff. Like, I can't do that. I can't go to any gym and do that, but I can go to my basement.
You can ask; they'll say no.
Right, exactly.
All right. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about your kettlebell collection as well as some of the other cool things, including that inch dumbbell replica. So you got your kettlebells from, it looks like they're mostly Rogue, is that correct?
Rogue,
except for this one right here.
And right equipment also. This is a right equipment.
This is a right? This is what, a cap? Or is it just
honestly, I don't know. I bought that from my old gym that closed.
Okay. Actually, no, it's a 26 pound, so it's not a cap. All right.
So I would say when my home gym originally started with basically one kettlebell, a pair of rings, and a hangboard, which is like a climbing specific training tool.
Right.
And obviously it's grown a lot since then.
Yeah, you've added a bunch of stuff.
I love kettlebell training. Even just not that long ago, I was just learning the bent press and was kind of going back and forth with you online about it. With kettlebells, it's more about the mastery rather than just lifting more. And I enjoy that. To me,
there's always ways to make a light kettlebell feel heavy.
Exactly.
And challenge yourself in different ways. So we'll talk about this right here.
It's a safety squat bar by Wright Equipment, and Wright is a company that's literally 5 minutes up the road from here. Man, I don't think you'll find a cheaper safety squat bar. I think it was $250, something like that. The thing I love about that is, like I said, my elbows have had a lot of mileage.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And squatting really bothers them, like at least back squatting does. That's probably the newest addition to the gym, because I did Sorenex's programming for Dead Simber. I don't know if you've seen that. There was some squatting in it, and I just...
Did you do the Maxim's lift-off thing?
I didn't do all that.
Oh, then you didn't complete the program. Then you didn't complete the program. Yeah. That's all I'm telling you.
Apparently, I can't claim it.
No.
I still PR'd. I still PR'd at least.
Well, that's good. Congratulations. That's good.
Inch dumbbell.
Right here. This is a replica of the famous dumbbell popularized by Thomas Inch. And so how heavy is this one?
That one is 115 right now. It's loadable, but it's it's lead loadable.
Oh
so
my God.
Once you put the
that's really old school
lead shot.
Okay, so let's turn this sucker around. You put lead shot in there, down in this hole right there. And so how heavy is it now?
115.
So you loaded it to 115.
I loaded it to 115, which has gotten quite easy. I need to put more in there, but lead shot is a little pricey, actually.
Yeah.
So I've just been putting off loading it.
So where do you get your lead shot from? You go and just
on Amazon.
You raid Walmart and get all their bird shot.
I should. Amazon, they have like recycled lead shot on Amazon. Some metal company that sells it on Amazon.
So the cool thing about the Inch dumbbell is how thick the handle is. I mean, you can see that right there. I mean, that's about the thickness of the handle. That is crazy. Got some blobs.
Yep.
So that means you've defaced a poor, unsuspecting York dumbbell somewhere.
Somewhere.
All right. How heavy is this one?
That one's, I think, 35.
Okay.
And half of a 90 over there.
All right. So let's talk about this climbing wall here, and then we'll go and we'll check out your other ones that you have.
So this is a commercially available product. As far as this is a standardized board. So you can see at the top, A, B, C, D.
Okay.
So anyone can build this if they have these holds. Okay. And Moon Climbing is the company. You'll also notice like the grid system over here, it's numbered on the side and then letters on the top. So basically, if you build this same grid and you buy these holds, me and you could be climbing on the same board and share our climbs with each other. Gotcha. It's like a community aspect.
So you basically say, oh, I made it up to this one or to this hold.
This type of climbing would be called bouldering. Yep. So bouldering would be no rope, basically no gear. Indoor climbing, a lot of it is bouldering these days. A lot of people have seen the bouldering competitions. And then this specifically would be board climbing, B-O-A-R-D. So this is a board, obviously.
Right.
And this is really where climbing training started back in like the 90s. The guy who owns this company, Ben Moon, he was a professional climber. And this is based off, they had a home gym, and they basically built these boards with just these heinous wood holds, and they would just train on it.
Now, one thing that we should mention is that with all this climbing stuff, you actually put down crash pads.
Climbing is a lot of failing, so falling directly on concrete is not advised.
Not a good thing.
It's
possible to do it.
It's possible,
but don't.
The early days of climbing, the reason they're all beat up now is because they didn't have crash pads.
Okay.
We have crash pads now.
Outstanding.
So I have a storage system that I've built.
Check it out.
And
these are your crash pads, okay?
Yep. I just keep them back here when they're not in use.
Gotcha.
And I'll pull them out depending on which wall I'm climbing on.
And you get these at all like climbing stores and.
Yep.
Okay.
Like an REI would have
Gotcha.
climbing gyms. A lot of times they'll sell them.
Gotcha.
These are the best in the business to me, and it's Organic Climbing is the company.
Now this looks like a little abrasive. What's the difference between? Why wouldn't you just use like a gymnastics crash pad or something? Is it durability?
Durability for sure. Like this is the exterior, and this is the part you fall on.
Oh, okay. So you can put that down outside.
So yeah. Okay. So this would be sitting on the ground.
Gotcha,
and really,
gotcha.
these are made for climbing outdoors.
Gotcha.
But they work. I mean, they work great in here, and I can use them for dual purpose.
But then you've got a whole bunch of climbing problems set up all along. I mean, even on the ceiling here, you've got climbing problems. So people can just see like how much time and effort you've put into setting this thing up. But I wanted to highlight this because these are the sort of holds that people were familiar with, because this is what you see like on a playground or something like that. But you're actually customizing this yourself. You said that you set it up according to what you want to work on. Am I right?
Yeah, different. So the holds were chosen based on hold type. One of my buddies, he works at a climbing gym and sets at a climbing gym. So he helped a lot with putting up specific problems that train, different things we want to train, and we use those over and over again, do them circuit style. But yeah, basically, whatever you're interested in climbing, you can set up your own board to match that.
Right.
And
you can make it nice and simple. Like if you have kids at home and you want to get them to, like I told you, my wife and I talked about getting a climbing wall for my daughter.
Right.
You can set up something nice and simple, or you can make it as complicated as you want.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is totally up to you to make it what you want it, which is, that's kind of one of the cool things about climbing.
How long does it take to take one of these off and put it on? It's just a matter of just screwing it in and unscrewing it?
Really. I mean, a couple seconds, because you can get a bit that'll attach to impact driver, and it's like a 3/8, I think, inch. Okay. And this is on and off really easy. If you hand do it, it takes a little longer.
It'll take a little bit. Okay.
Yeah. There's an app. The way I have it set up is with the LED, so it connects via Bluetooth, and you can light up the problem.
That's what. Okay, so that's what the lights are for. Okay, so now you don't have to have the phone in your hand. You can just
I'm
gonna
just
go
light it up. Green is starting. So these are my 2 start hands.
Okay.
The bottom board, it's open. Basically, you can use any of those feet on the bottom. But once you leave that to do this particular climb, you can only use the lit up holds.
Yeesh.
And that's how the difficulty comes into play there. So this is like V5 benchmark. So they have.
If they held me at gunpoint to do that, I just grab their pistol and pull the trigger myself.
And basically, you pull your foot up, come out, and then you end on the reds.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you can
so red
see,
means stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see kind of like the size of the holds here. They're not very big. I mean, this is not a big. I wouldn't call this like a beginner setup. You do need some experience.
Gotcha.
But it's great for building strength and climbing, because most of the climbing outside isn't like this. It's more 3-dimensional.
Right.
But when it's on this flat plane, I mean,
this is actually harder than being outside.
I think a lot of times it feels like it.
I really think I need to get Gil to pay me some money for this video here, because we're now at what I'm going to call the barrel strength system section of your home gym. So show me all the different things that, let's go through some of the stuff. So I've got a Trilobite, so I know what this is. This is like their version of, a lot of people are familiar with the Iron Mind Rolling Thunder. If you into grip work at all, what's that?
Little Bighorn.
That's a Little Bighorn.
Yep,
okay.
That's the Iron Mind.
This is a stirrup, right?
That's a stirrup. Yep.
Okay.
That thing is tough.
Actually, so if we're looking at your climb board, you can see now what this is for.
Yep.
All right. So except you're training your grip from the other way, so that now it's hanging upside down like that, and the weight's hanging right there. Let's talk about this right here.
Moon top. To be honest, I can't remember where I got that.
Okay.
When I first learned about grip, like as a sport, I found out about King Kong Grip Challenge. Pretty immediately wanted to compete, and I believe this was one that was in a previous King Kong.
Okay.
And it seemed very similar to me as a newbie to grip. I was like, that looks like a climbing hold to me.
So the weight goes down here.
Yep.
Okay, so you thought that this is what we're grabbing it with. Incorrect.
So there's a climbing hold called a sloper. To me, this feels like a sloper.
Sorcery.
And it's sort of like a pinch too, but you need some finger strength. I mean, this thing is hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to lift.
Like, I don't even know
weight.
if I could, I mean, hey, he's a man. Don't ever doubt me again, okay? What's that?
That is, I think Gil calls it the Trilo block.
Okay.
I'm
And
not,
that's just
I'm
a
not
pinch
sure
block?
how to. Yeah, it's basically a rotating pinch instead of
Oh
a
my God.
rotating handle.
Oh my God.
So you can pinch it like this,
That's sadistic.
or you can pinch it like this.
That's horrible. Because now I'm saying this because it's challenging your grip, and then the
Yeah.
weight is swinging
Yeah.
underneath it. You got to try to stabilize it. That's sadistic.
That's a blame Gil.
I do.
This
Is
one
that the tips
is
tester?
yeah, miniature tips tester.
Okay.
Sort of fingery. It's to me this one also feels a lot like a climbing hold because you're
Okay.
really on your fingers a lot and your thumb's kind of stabilizing.
Gotcha.
And then the full size tips tester, which you can get 2 hands on, is this one. I like this one a lot.
And this is the flask, right?
flask.
Okay.
Man, that thing.
You guys can see how much I kind of troll Gil's website.
Yeah.
Look at this.
I love the flask.
Yeah.
My claim to fame is I did a pull up hanging the flask.
Wow. And
Two
so
arm pull up.
this stuff here will help you get better at obstacle course racing because a lot of the obstacles involve a lot of hanging from stuff. They're different shaped implements and things like that. But the cool thing is that you can actually set records in grip specific competition using these implements. So it's actually a sport unto itself.
If you don't compete in grip, you don't care about competing in grip, this is just like, these tools are relatively inexpensive for
Right.
a home gym user,
Yeah.
and it's a fun way to do something different.
Yeah.
And like my recent deadlift PR was double overhand, no straps. Like,
Right.
so
Because all the grip work. Yeah.
Right, exactly. My grip is not my weakest link when it comes to deadlifting.
Yeah.
But I found it easier to be able to compete in this sport and do climbing, whereas like powerlifting and climbing is took too much of a toll on my
I got
body.
you. What's this called?
It's called the Flashboard,
Okay.
and it's by tension climbing.
So this looks like an Australian musical instrument, but we'll just assume it's for lifting.
Yeah.
Alright.
So you can. This is cool because you can either hang it. I took it when we go on vacation. Of course, I can't sit still, so I want to train.
Okay.
So I'll take this, find a place to hang it. We just went to the beach. My wife and I did, and I took it there and I hung it at the commercial gym there. Did my hangs.
Oh, I got you.
You can do pull-ups,
Okay.
and you can also use it from the ground though. So I'll, hook this to a loading pin
Okay.
and basically, deadlift.
Oh, nice.
Do
Okay, just some,
finger curls with weight.
okay.
Some new stuff. So a lot of people probably, if you're not into climbing, you won't be familiar with like this company or these kind of devices.
I'll put the links to as much of the stuff as I can find in the description for this video. So if anybody's interested in buying stuff or just checking it out, as well as his contact information, so you guys can just reach out and just ask Markham. And in fact, we're definitely putting his contact information in the video because he's got something that he's going to tell you guys later on that you'll need his contact information for.
Yeah, definitely. And then you've got tension climbing also makes this, which is a block. They call it the tension block.
Okay.
And it's, another, you can hang it or you can pull from the ground. I like pulling from the ground with stuff like this.
Gotcha.
And I'll bring this when I go out climbing outside. I'll put this in my bag and I can warm up my fingers a little bit.
Gotcha.
Hook it on my foot and just pull, isometric pulling and stuff like that.
All right, so Markham, you did mention earlier that you do some stone loading and that you have a stone, and this is actually, it's technically not stone. This is the Stone of Steel by Mike Bartos. First of all, how do you like it?
So I would say my stone lifting interests are mainly to lift harder stones outdoors.
Right.
This one, I don't have much to compare it to.
Right.
I think it's great. I don't see how you could have such a large collection of stones in a home gym
Right.
situation.
Whereas
and
this is loadable.
opens up and I can throw plates in it.
Right.
I will say for like a guy my size, it's pretty dang wide.
Okay.
So I think it's like a 20-inch
Okay.
stone, and kind of makes me look tiny when I pick it up. It's heavy and it's hard and it's fun. That's all that counts.
Yeah, like the only thing I've ever heard anybody say that's a negative, and that's not even really a negative, is like if you're training for strongman competition, is that when stones get heavier, typically they get bigger in diameter.
Oh, okay.
So that's the only thing, is like you have to, it's not just being able to lift it, it's the fact that you have to learn how to kind of mold your body around the stone in order to be able to pick it up. But this is still a really good training tool. And I've actually been at a Masters Nationals where they use the stone of steel as the actual stone implement for the day. So, you know, it's still something that is worth looking into.
Right.
Mike Bartos, if you want to send me any money, I am accepting it at this time. We've talked about most of the stuff that you got in here. We have not mentioned the Rogue Echo GHD, but pretty much people should know what that is. That's a really, I think you should have some sort of glute ham developing device in your home gym, some way to develop, you know, your posterior chain. It looks like you set it up, use it, and then stick it back over there in the corner when you're done?
Yeah, just because space is so limited in here, I'll set it up on the rack when I'm training it, and then I'll kind of remove it if I didn't want it to be in the way when y'all came, so I took it off.
Like, look at us, thinking about us, man. All right, now I promised you guys that you would need to get Markham's contact information because he's got something he's offering, and so I've never actually done this before, but when I got here, he asked me if I wanted to buy it, and I said, well, you know what, even better, because for one thing, I don't have room in the car, but even better, I want to make it possible for you guys to buy it. I'm not going to get a cut of the money or anything like that, but we're going to do the first ever version of Home Gym Classifieds, and we'll see how it goes. But if you guys would like a climbing wall of your own, you actually happen to have one. So the other benefit of doing it this way is after you sell it, if people keep on harassing you, at least you get more Instagram followers, right? So there you go, yeah. But yeah, so if you want to reach out to Markham for advice in setting up your own wall, or if you would like to, you know, check out to see if he still has the climbing wall that he is selling, how can they reach you on Instagram?
Yeah, probably the best way would be, I have a training Instagram. It's mhambham, so MHAMBHAM, and I'm pretty active on there. I post training, what I'm doing in my training and that sort of thing, and yeah, I'm definitely interested in connecting with other folks that are train at home, because we're kind of all in it together, I think.
Definitely. All right, so if you've got a home gym that you'd like for me to come check out either in person or over on Zoom, please reach out to me on Instagram at Garage Gym Life Media or here on YouTube, because I want to see your home gym. I think that your home gym is the best gym in town because it is customized to you like an expensive suit. See you next time.